Today we're going to rinse out the hot water tank and put in some vinegar, have that stay in overnight with a heated tank to get rid of the scale that you'll see here. It'll be an interesting process, and I've approached it somewhat differently than others. Instead of buying 10 gallons of 7% or so vinegar, 5% vinegar, which is your typical family vinegar, or kitchen vinegar, I should say. It's typically 5%. I bought an industrial grade, which is 30%. So the first 2 gallons going in will be 30%, and then I'll follow that with water. Not only does that wash out the lines in the pump from the vinegar, and it will reduce the acidity to around 7% in the tank. And then I'll heat the tank up and leave that overnight to basically liquefy the scale, and then wash that out tomorrow. Also, that sanitizes the tank. Vinegar at 5 or 7% at 140 degrees will pretty much kill any bacteria that's in the tank. I'll wash that out a couple times, and then fill it with water, and hopefully we're ready to go. I will take a look with the borescope after this process just to show you the difference between this and the new this. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, relieve any pressure by opening the pressure relief valve. I've already done that, so none came out. Now, prior to this, the first time I opened it, all this water came out. Relieve the pressure in the system. Water pump is off, power to the hot water heater is off, gas is shut off, power to the gas circuit to the hot water heater is off, and it is cool. It's been sitting overnight. So what I'm going to do is to remove the drain plug, which is here. This is an Attwood, has an aluminum tank, so it has no anode rod, just has the plastic plug, and no anode rod is necessary. So let's get started and we'll see how that looks. This size is unnecessary. This plug is not that difficult to remove. So typically I'll just turn it like that and remove the drain plug with my hand. I already have loosened this up some. So now with this safety valve open, the water will come out in a stream. And you'll hear the air being sucked in through that safety valve. And the water will drain fairly quickly now. I also, during this process, will open up a hot water spigot. In my case, the bathroom sink is the closest one. And I will open that up just to allow air to run up through the coach when I fill this up. So I keep my air space on top of the tank. You should not fill this tank all the way up. It will cause problems. And here's the way I ran the fluid. I ran the vinegar and the water into the hot water tank. I'll show you how this works. Shut off the water to the coach. This comes from the freshwater tank, and we open up this siphon tube here, and then all we need to do is turn on the pump after we put this hose in one of these gallon jugs. Plug is out. Put it in this, and notice I have the tops off of all of these because this water will run fast. I don't have a way to turn the pump on here, so I need to go to the water bay, turn the pump on, and then come down quickly and pump all this stuff out. See how quickly that tank empties. Okay, now this This water is hot, consequently the gloves, and I'm going to relieve pressure. This will be hot water, so you got to be standing clear. Then we're going to take off remove the plug. Notice how I captured the nut in the wrench so that I didn't have to chase it on the ground in hot water. Before you put the plug in, wrap it with some Teflon tape. So as the plug is facing me, I'll put this on clockwise so that when I install the plug, it doesn't unwrap. Because now, looking at the plug this way, it's wrapped counterclockwise. Consequently, when I turn the plug in, it won't unwrap. With a plastic plug, I'm always careful to not cross-thread it because that's easy to do. You should be able to run it in by hand pretty far. And I'll wipe up any water here so I can see if we've got a leak. So now we're going to run the pump. I'm going to go in and open up the hot water spigot in the bathroom, the closest sink, and then wait until the water here comes out. And once that's done, the tank will be full. Shut off the pump, shut off the spigot, close this valve. We'll have our pocket of air cushion. Basically, the tank will be burped. And I'm going to run this hot water, the gas hot water, just to dry all this stuff off and make sure we've got a nice dry surface there. We don't want any corrosion. So, got the gas working, warming up nice. It has a little bit of a roar to it, but that'll settle down once it gets warm and dry. Get all that moisture out of there. That roar will settle down to a nice steady hum. This is what the hot water furnace should sound like on gas. Barely audible. From 7-10 feet, you shouldn't even be able to hear it. This is properly adjusted flame. The hot water tank flushed, sanitized, and descaled, if you will, to a great extent. You'll notice the difference here, before and after. So I'm pleased with that. Pleased that the hot water tank has been rinsed and descaled to a great extent. I'll be curious to see what it looks like next year. We run soft water now with our soft water unit, so it should stay clean, but we'll see. But it was an interesting process, ends up, you end up smelling like a pickle jar with all the vinegar. But clean the water spigots out. Cleaned all the water, any residuals in the line. Pumped the tank full of fresh water twice. I pumped it once full and then drained it and then pumped it again full. I adjusted the flame on the hot water heater gas side. It was making a little bit more of a roar than I'd like, so I adjusted it down to be quiet. You shouldn't really hear, well, you shouldn't hear the hot water heater running on gas from 10 feet out. It should be that quiet. But you don't want a lazy flame. You want an energetic flame, nice and blue, but not roaring like a jet engine. In any event, we're done. I'm going to join my Jimmy John sandwich again. One of my favorites, obviously. So, hope you enjoyed this. Take away something. If so, and you liked it, give me a like. Thanks so much. Any questions, of course, feel free. Or comments. You like this, you didn't like that, I was too fast here, too slow. You tell me. Without feedback, I don't really have any idea how I'm being received. So, thank you so much. Have a great day.